Sup flappers, welcome back to another video. So we are here with chat live on YouTube. You can watch my live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Today I'm doing a different time, but I'm glad to have everybody with me because it did take me quite a while to understand Kokomi. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. I gave her different sets. I tried different, variations. There are different teams that I still couldn't run. I have not been able to run a vaporized team with her, but I did try a very, very popular freeze team with her, with both Kazuha and Venti and also with Diona and Rosaria. So there are a couple variations of her freeze team that I tried, and even then, I hate to say this, I don't want to be putting characters down like this, but I honestly think Kokomi currently, especially for me, I have all the characters, but maybe for somebody who doesn't have as many characters, she could be a solid upgrade.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
But right now, there are much deeper rooted issues with Kokomi that I think goes far beyond what most people are talking about, which is stats, right? I don't want to talk about stats just yet. We'll leave that for a later section of this video. Right now, there is a glaring issue with Kokomi that I found through playing the Abyss, right? I played from floor 9 all the way to floor 11. We haven't yet to challenge floor 12 with her because I don't think I can take her any higher because I was relying on her application. I was relying on her applications. Her talents are not level. Right now, her talents are 1-1. I understand that's going to severely affect how much she can heal, how much she can hit for on field, but that's not it. Right now, I paired her with Ayaka as my main DPS, with her in the support DPS position, and eventually I had to bump her back to the healer position. I had a vision that Kokomi was going to be good enough for her to be played in the support DPS position as a flex healer. So kind of like a similar Xingqiu, but focus more around healing, right? But right now, her elemental skill, that's the problem. Her elemental skill cannot be mobilized and it's not flexible, unlike Xingqiu's burst skill where it's attached to the character who is on field and attacks with the character. Kokomi's elemental skill is stationary. Not only is it stationary, it does not taunt, and you cannot reposition it, and when you drop it, it has a fairly close range. You cannot decide where you want to drop it, kind of like when you use Oz, you can hold down your elemental skill. The same mechanic with Oz, with Kaching's elemental skill, or Albedo's elemental skill. Anytime you need to put down some of these like additional things to assist you in battle, most of the time miHoYo has made it that you're able to select where you want to drop it. You hold your E and you decide where you want to drop your skill, but she doesn't, and it doesn't taunt. So enemies just kind of run around and there's nothing I can do about it. The one solution I found so far, because I originally thought maybe Kazuha's elemental skill was good enough to pull everything in and maybe I can freeze everybody, but then again I'm playing with Ayaka. It doesn't work with Ayaka that well. Maybe it'll work better with Ganyu, right? So if you're running Ganyu as the main DPS, maybe it'll work better because you need that 360-degree area of effect of cryo to be paired with her. So that's what makes me think that maybe she works better in a Morgana team, but right now it's so limiting because of her elemental skill. I want her to work, trust me, I want her to work more than anybody. I take a lot of time and effort into these characters. I level them up, I farm for their stuff, and I really want to make sure they each have their own unique teams that they can play in, but right now Kokomi does not, and it all stems from the fact of her elemental skill being so inflexible. Is that a word? Inflexible? So let's take a step back. We were talking in chat saying, what are some of the ways her elemental skill could be better, right? Not even changing numbers. We're not talking about numbers. What are some of the ways miHoYo can do? Very simple, very simple. They have the code ready because we've seen it in other characters. Just let us either be able to choose where we want to put down the jellyfish. That's one. Right now, it just auto-select. Like if you're fighting a group of enemies, there's 6 people over here, there's 2 people over here, you're standing over here. She's gonna be like, oh, where am I gonna put the jellyfish? Right over here. Then what you gonna do? Right? Let us choose where we want the jellyfish to go. I want it between these groups and that group, right in the dead center, right there. That's where I want the jellyfish. Give us that, or let the jellyfish taunt. For example, okay, she's like, I'm gonna put the jellyfish over here, and the jellyfish goes here, and the range reaches them and it pulls them in instead of letting them like continuously run around. It's like, oh, the jellyfish, and then they all come to the jellyfish, then it works too, right? It's not more damage. It's not more damage. It's more utility. It's more functionality. If not that, let's go even further. If not that, can we at least reposition it? Just like Oz, let us switch back to Kokomi, hold the jellyfish to our new location. Is that a big problem? I don't know. miHoYo decided to not only sack her this bad on her, now we're talking about stats, right? Now we're talking about stats. Sack her this bad on her hits, where she's designed to be on field and filling a period of time to deal some damage. I know it's a couple seconds. It's not like you're fielding her for freaking 15, 20 seconds. You're fielding her for 3, 4, 5 seconds max, right? When she's fully built, that should be enough time for her to heal your entire team back up while doing some barely acceptable damage with her normal and charge attack. I get it. Her burst skill is also used to extend her elemental skill. So building her right, fully optimize her in a proper team, she should be able to have almost 100% jellyfish uptime. But do you really want 100% jellyfish uptime when the jellyfish can't move? It's like you're making a mistake by putting it here. Do you really want to refresh the CD to let that mistake continue? Imagine if your jellyfish is mispositioned, how much time it's going to eat up your damage rotation. It's too much risk. So first and foremost, you cannot use her burst skill now because your jellyfish is now messed up. So you can't use her burst skill because it's just gonna refresh the freaking jellyfish. Now you have to wait until the jellyfish timeout, wait for your CD to come back, reposition it, try again. And what if you mess up again? What if the auto targeting system mess up again? Do you know how much time that eats into your damage rotation? We're talking late game, we're talking application. It's too much risk to run this character right now. The risk heavily outweighs the pros. There's a saving grace, and I'm not talking about through buffs. I'm gonna say I have not tested every different variation of her. There's gonna be a video that I will release with her team. I always do. I always try to find certain amazing teams for these characters, especially for free-to-play players with some 4 stars mixed in, some 5 stars here and there, to make these characters viable in certain scenarios. So when people do need to bust them out, be like, hey, I have this character, I want to be able to, you know, showcase them or enjoy them. I don't know. I'm struggling right now. I really want to try her in Morgana team. I'm going to level up all her talents, and I'm going to try to get her to... Right now, I tried her at Ascension 4, level 70. I think it's fair, especially she's not a main DPS character. We don't need to take her to Ascension 6, level 90, or Ascension 5, level 80. I don't think we need to do that to see the potentials of this character. And the potential, let's not even talk about potential. It's like, if this were a race... Right? Let's imagine if this was a marathon. Everybody starts at the starting line, so it's fair for everybody. That's what all the characters are. All the characters are lined up at the start line, and it feels like miHoYo has forced Kokomi to line up 100 meters behind the starting line.
Why?
This is so unfair. It's not even a fair comparison at this point. She has so much in her kit that needs readjustments that this is not a fair comparison. I feel like that's just how far behind she is as a character right now. I really hope that after some more testings, I will be able to give you guys a more concrete and more definitive answer. This is just my first impressions, and it's not good. Is she the worst character in the game? No, I don't think so. I still think Amber is worse. Worst 5-star character in the game? I might have to give it to her. I might.
You what?
There is Chi-Chi, right? There is Chi-Chi. I understand that. There is the situation with Chi-Chi and Kokomi. Right now, if we're looking at Chi-Chi and Kokomi, I don't know. These two sit very close together. I'm gonna give her more time, but like she's the bottom 3 right now. Not that good.
This world shall know pain.
When people want to say like, well, it's because she's a healer, right? It's not a healer meta. No, it's not because she's a healer. It's because she has no applicative purpose. She has no purpose in the game. She's only here to replace variable playstyles from other similar characters. There's no purpose. She's not designed with a purpose. What is miHoYo doing? This is very uncharacteristic of miHoYo. miHoYo always designs characters with purpose, unique playstyles, unique synergies. right? Even when we shit on characters like Yoimiya, right? She still is providing a new way to play Pyro DPS characters for people who want to play Overload teams, right? You have Yoimiya. What is Kokomi supposed to be? Is she opening up new freeze teams? Is she opening up new vaporize teams? Electro charge teams? What can she do that other characters cannot, right? What about Mona? Very similar to Mona, very similar to Barbara. Like, Mihoyo, do you need to hire new staffs?
No, that's a lot of damage.
Do you need to, re-excite your design team? Because right now, this is... I mean, yeah, we're putting a lot on Mihoyo. We're actually expecting a lot out of Mihoyo. But honestly, at this point, if you're gonna release a character like this, maybe just don't. If this character wasn't up to your standards, Mihoyo, because she is not a Mihoyo level character, just don't release her. Just announce Raiden Shogun for this patch and a rerun banner for this patch. Players are not gonna complain. This feels like an incomplete character. Things are not properly thought through. I don't know what beta testers were testing for. What is this? Like, the more I talk about it, the more frustrated I get, because I know Mihoyo does better. I know they even said this themselves. They want each and every character to feel unique and different and special. What about Kokomi? Is Kokomi not a character? Why doesn't Mihoyo give her the love and attention they did to other characters like Kazuha, right? Like Eula? I'm gonna keep testing her. This is my first impression. Sorry it's getting to this point, but I think this needs to be said, right? Somebody needs to light a fire under Mihoyo somehow. With that said, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry, chat, if I'm a little too harsh on her, but I think I gave her the chance, and I tried it. In certain golden scenarios. It worked with Venti, worked really well for that one particular scenario where all the things aligned and everything was properly cycling through and it was fine. But for the vast majority of the runs you guys saw, it's pretty bad. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Stay safe. Peace.